Hi!
Hello, Hot Vibes, and welcome back to our recap of The Next Prince, episode 13.
I don't know what to... Yeah, I see you. I did that with a question mark. I don't know what to think.
Was this episode very boring to anyone else?
Here's the thing. It wasn't that it was boring. It was that it was, like, suspiciously nice. Like, everything was, like, tied in a bow, but, like, they said it was tied in a bow. We didn't see it tied in a bow. We didn't see Prince Swasey.
They kept teasing it with, like, something's gonna happen, and they were just like, nope.
They were like, oh no, this is what happened. I'm like, yeah, but you're telling me that. You're not showing me.
Yeah.
And that's what's making me think something's wrong.
They, like, build stuff up and then just, like, kind of, like, let it fall, and it's like, oh, this isn't, like, anything.
That's why I feel like there's still something left to, like, kaboom us. And
that's the thing. I'm still waiting for the final episode. I checked, it's like an hour and 40 minutes long. So I'm assuming shit will happen.
What? Holy shit!
So I'm assuming shit will happen in that. That's my hope.
That's like a movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
It's like, it's...
Holy.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we get more reveals. I don't think Wasin did the stuff with the moms.
No, not at all.
I want to know what happened to Calvin, because we hear he got in trouble. But how? How bad is the trouble?
Exactly.
Is it like death? Is it punishment? Is it locked away? Is it like, oh, just a slap on the wrist? What's... We keep hearing all these things and we haven't seen anything from that, and I'm just like, I want to...
I'm like, there's no way, like, we heard all this stuff about, like, the King of Bujar, and then literally nothing came from it. Nah,
he's cast. We saw his picture. He
we
must be in the last episode. I don't know. I hope so. I hope it's like a dramatic, emotional, plot twist-filled roller coaster. Next episode.
I'm not erasing that theory or whatever theory we come up with this episode until the very last minute.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Anyway, how was your week this week?
How was my week? I worked a little bit. I started doing some cleaning in my room. I want to finish or at least make a really good dent in cleaning my room before I start up filming again and editing again. I don't know. I want a clean space to do that. And I the only dent I've made so far, as you can see, I'm sitting at my desk. So I've cleaned my desk. I've cleaned my coffee table. And I've started going through my drawers to give any clothes I'm not using to Goodwill. And boy, are there a lot of clothes I'm not using. Because I have my drawers that are like stuffed, like heavily stuffed full of clothes, right? And then I have 3 hampers down in the laundry room of clothes I just haven't washed yet. That could fill 2 more of those drawers. Drawer sets. So like, I went through just the drawers themselves. I'm still doing the laundry part, but I went through just the drawers themselves. And most of it I've gotten rid of, which is good, because I honestly hate to say it, but a lot of it doesn't fit me anymore. And I'm not gonna let it sit in my drawers and clog up everything and collect stuff until it does fit me again. Like, that's feels pointless to me, even though a lot of that stuff's from Korea, and I was really sad to put it in the donation bag. It barely fit me when I got it, okay? Like, it just barely fit me and was tight when I got it. Like, now, impossible. Right. So I'm just gonna give it away. I kept, like, maybe 2 things from Korea, and the rest it's going. So, so I've started on that, which is exciting. At work yesterday, every once in a while we get something new and exciting, and yesterday we got, like, it's from a brand called Iconic Candy, and they've basically, like, bought and remade, like, old nostalgic candy. And I'm wondering if you've seen these before, because these were my fucking life when I was a child. Band-Aid gum?
No.
You've never seen Band-Aid gum? That makes me... See, you're too young, and that stresses me out.
I'm 2 years younger than you. It's not like that big of an age gap.
Whenever I mention something, you go, no, and I'm like, okay, so apparently my childhood was just really, really off from yours.
To be fair, I don't know a lot of stuff. We've been over this.
That's true. You have lived under a rock.
That's true.
This is Band-Aid bubblegum. It literally looks nothing like a Band-Aid, and, like, if you take a piece out, it's just, like, gum wrapped in a thing with a Band-Aid picture.
Oh.
But, like, when I was a kid, oh my god, my life. They smell like Sweet Tarts, kind of. And, like, I forgot, as I do, I forget a lot of things. I literally did not remember what these looked like. I know they existed in my memory, but I didn't remember. And then she pulled them out for me to price, and I went, holy motherfucking god. It's these! So, we got those, and we also got cream savers. But you never had these either.
No.
that makes me really sad for you because these are like crack. These,
Okay.
they're so good. They like taste slightly like strawberries because they're also, you know, creamy, but they're hard candies. So you suck on these. Oh my god. Oh my god, they're so good. And I'm gonna try not to eat them all in one sitting because like you could like I could eat so many of them and like sometimes you get like oversensitized to like sweetness
Right.
when you eat too much. Nah, I could eat like 15 of those and be fine. They're so fucking good. So I got those. We had a bubble jug too. We got a bubble jug in, but that was past earlier from my time, I think. I never had the bubble jug. It's like literally like a little jug shaped thing with a bunch of like small little balls in it that turn into bubblegum when you chew them. So like it's like you drinking bubblegum. But I never had that. I knew it existed, but I never had it. Oh, in Hollyoaks news, I haven't been paying that much attention, I will be honest. However, the one thing I did pay attention to was remember when we were watching the scene where the serial killer killed Bobby?
Yes.
Outside the taxi. And one of the guys was like trying to follow Bobby and trying to find him, and he was driving down the road
like right
and
by
he
them,
swerved. Yeah, he swerved. He was like, "Oh, I almost hit a taxi, Jesus." And so recently, obviously, Bobby's mom has found out that Bobby's been found by the side of the road and is dead. She's confirmed the body. He's definitely dead. Meanwhile, this guy was with her. He went with her to like be a caring, helping hand. And the police with them said, "We think it was a hit and run." And then they drove off. He thinks he killed Bobby.
Oh.
So now he's like, "Oh, don't worry, Mercedes. I'm sure it'll all be okay." And as soon as she left the car, he threw up outside. He was like, "Oh my fucking god, I killed her son." Like he feels so bad, and I feel so sorry for him because he's actually a nice dude. He like runs one of the pubs, and I'm like, "No, you didn't kill him. It was Jess, please." So I'm gonna try and pay attention to it and see how long it goes on for, because sometimes Hollyoaks plotlines tend to go on for a really fucking long time. Like there was this girl that was killed once. And I swear to God, the who killed her of it all went on for like a good season and a half. And I was like, can we fucking please just tell us who did it?
Right.
Like, so I'll pay attention for as long as I have attention for it. But like, poor guy, I'm gonna need him to know that he didn't do it because he's a nice dude. He is. So honestly, that's all that's going on in Hollyoaks news. I don't think there's particularly anything else going on. All I've been doing is cleaning my room. There was a Fortnite event yesterday, which was really fun. It was on at 2:30, and I had to leave for work at 2:45. So I was like, please finish within 15 minutes so I can actually attend it all. And it did. It finished in like 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, good timing. I got ready beforehand. It was really cool because you had to load in at like 2. And once you loaded in, there were like, it was like this mini game, and people in the area couldn't kill each other. They made it so they couldn't kill each other. And there were these little like spheres all around the area, and you had to like hit them all. A few creators I've seen like did not bother with that. They were just like, "Oh, I don't care about that. I just want to see the live event." But I was like, "Nah, I'm on a mission." So I like was trying to get all of them and get all the points for that, which I did. But the live event was actually pretty fun. There was like a giant kraken tentacles that like popped out of the ground, and you had to shoot at it, and then all the superheroes from the season ganged together and like started attacking it too, and it was like a community thing. Like everyone in the game was like, "Get it!" Like it's cool. And then Superman came through and was like, psh, killed it. He punched it in the tentacle. It was great. Other than that, that was really fun. The whole area is destroyed now that it was in. So one of the competitions, one of the big like, you know, pro competitions that's happening, I think today, FNCS. A lot of people drop this area, Demon's Domain, like they drop into that area at the beginning of the game because it's got a mythic, it's got so many chests. It's like the place to drop if you are like really good at the game. I never drop there because people who are really good at the game drop there. But if you're good at the game, you drop there. And unless they have, I think I heard they might have a second version of the map where it's still intact, like that whole area. But if they don't, that means everyone that was planning to drop there for this pro competition is now fucked because it's just gone. It's flat Earth. Like there's no building at all, no mythic, nothing. So I'm gonna laugh if they don't have a second map. They're gonna have to rework their whole strategy. But that was really fun. I had a good time. The new season starts on the 7th, and it is gonna be bug themed. I hate my life. I'm going to cry. For a month and a half, I'm gonna have to do bug shit. And I swear to God, I think I heard that like they were like, oh, there's gonna be some kind of swarm attack, like for a weapon, and I'm like, nope, no, thank you. I say no. This is not gonna be my season. I liked this one. Why do you have to follow it up with this? So I'm gonna try and treat it like a Griever situation from Maze Runner because they kind of look like Grievers. They look like the Wreck-It Ralph bugs, like the cybugs. So like they look mechanical. So I'm gonna try and like look at it from that lens. Because I really don't want to be attacked by bugs every game. Please don't do that to me, especially bees. Don't do it. Other than that, I think that's it because I've just been trying to clean my room. So, what's up with your week?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, Pippi's over, so I got nothing to share with that.
Yeah.
Just regular work, I guess.
I still watch Hidden Agenda. I need to. It's because I have had no time. So like, I need to set aside.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
you
put it
should
on my
watch that.
schedule. Yeah, I know. I need to finish it. I'm gonna put it on my schedule. Watch Hidden Agenda 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, no, nothing really happened. I mean, I don't know if you see this if it pops up on your YouTube or whatever, but I've been like live streaming like Digimon games for like
No, that has not popped on me.
I don't know. But yeah, no, it's been like so I've been streaming that because I'm trying to beat this current game that's been out for like years because a new game's coming out that's in like the same like mode and stuff in like October. I already pre-ordered it. I got all the like big stuff on it. And I'm gonna be streaming that. But I want to beat this game first.
Yeah.
Before then. So I'm hoping I can. It comes out like I forget when in October, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, the next Prince.
Yeah.
Episode 13.
Yeah.
We start off strong.
Oh, we really fucking do.
So what happens is we get a flashback to Kanin and Sharon's mothers talking to the king. And Kanin's mother like, will you let me leave with Kanin without even seeing Tharin?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's not possible right now. I'm like, okay, right away.
Yeah.
Huge red flag.
After that first sentence, I paused it and I went, okay, I'm writing the theory down. Because I hadn't updated the murder board yet and I was feeling really strong about our theory.
No, so right away I was like, wait, so she left with Kanin without his knowledge. Tharin's knowledge. Yeah. He had no idea.
That's that's weird. Right?
Which makes me think that he didn't know any of this happened.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Now my brain is saying it's either Tharin that did it or the king. Like it's one of them. Because like if Tharin doesn't know, that means either the king had them flee because he knew Tharin was dangerous, or the king had them flee knowing he was going to send someone to kill them and didn't want Tharin to know about it. So it's one of them. I just don't know which one.
Yeah. Or it could have been like this is stupid theory, I'm not even gonna say it.
You're not even gonna say no, say it, I want to hear the stupid theory.
One of my things was like it could have been Tharin, but it could have been him trying to like stop them and like stop the car by having people like and then shoot at it and then fucking cause an accident with the wife and the other mother and possibly Kanin. That was dumb.
Interesting theory.
I don't think that happened.
Interesting theory.
Anyway. So she's pretty much being like, okay, like if that's what it is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And the king says, like, don't worry, royal guard will be stationed with you at all times if they dare to break in. Just go and stay safe.
This is when my theory kind of changed from like, instead of like, I don't know, it says Charon's mother knew of this plan, so she was going to help the princess flee. It was instead like the king was like making her seem unsafe so he could make her flee and then kill her on the road and make it look like an attack or something. So like I was like, oh, it's a close theory, but like just adjacent to our main theory.
Yeah. But then as Kanin's mother leaves, the king stops Sharon's mother. And he's like, wait, you stay back. Make sure that the princess and the prince are fine, and I will dispatch my finest soldiers to help you. And as for Sharon, he will be under my protection until you return from the UK. And she's against
Where were these soldiers? Where were these soldiers, is what I'm saying. I'll dispatch my finest soldiers to help you. I saw one car, and then the car that came to shoot them.
maybe they meant like at like they were in the UK or already like they went ahead to the UK. I don't know. That was weird, I will say.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's kind of like that. She's like, I don't know, and
She's
like,
like, yeah, I don't like
and
that. Like,
he brings up what I kind of talked about last week was he says like, oh, but your family has always been loyal to our family, where we see he's kind of
hmm
like against. He's like, hey, I'll adopt Sharon.
and she's like, I don't know if that's proper.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, okay,
she's
no problem.
very against this, and she's like, yeah,
Which
no, there's no
points
reason. It's fine.
that paints a red flag against the king for me heavily. That she's like really hesitant to leave her child with him.
Yeah,
Like usually you would be like, oh, sire, like thank you for looking after my son. Like if you were loyal to the king and stuff, you'd be like, oh, my child is gonna be looked after by the king. He'll have a great life. He'll be fine. Nah, she's like, I really don't want to leave him with this man.
yeah. We do also get like a brief moment of the king's bodyguard or butler, like watching this conversation.
Yep.
Which, if it does end up being Sauron, this is how it could have been. Or no, not Sauron. Well, Watson. If it ended up being Watson, this is how it could connect it because we know they were in allegiance together.
Which is making me think that maybe this is post the princess dying, because I was trying to figure out if this was happening before or after she died.
I hope it's not Watson. That will be so boring.
It would be. That's what I was saying. I was like, if it's Watson, that's so boring because like
he's already dead. It's like, oh, this was a killer, but he's already dead. Who cares?
He's already dead. Who cares? That would make us not care at all. And here's my thing: if it was him, why would he say, you know, it's his fault that your mother is dead, right? And then he was shot dead immediately.
He said that, and like he said that, and he knew. That's how he knew. The king told Watson, or the butler told Watson that the king did it, or that the right whoever did it, the bodyguard knew, and he told Watson. Yeah. That's how he knew. Yeah. That's how he knew. Yeah. That's how it connects. It's not because he told Watson and Watson kill it. It's he told Watson, so he knew that the king or Papa Taurus or whoever did it. That's how it is.
Look at us connecting shit, and it'd probably break our hearts if it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Look at us connecting shit. That's possibly pointless.
Anyway, then we have the news of the whole archery incident. Keeping most things under wraps, really, on the news.
Yeah.
And then Kanin and Sharon go to meet Kanin's dad, and they're like, "Oh, how's the king?" I low-key thought that they were here for Chakri and not the king, and I was like, "Oh, is Chakri in the hospital?" And then they were like, "Oh, no, how's the king?" And he's like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, never mind."
I honestly, first, I see he said, "How's the king?" But like when I saw Chakri later, I was like, "Oh, they were here for Chakri." Oh, duh! Like, but like they actually were talking about the king still. So
yeah, I think they were here for both of them because they were both in the hospital.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. And then Doc comes out and he's like, "Okay, His Majesty is in critical stage has passed, which means he'll probably be fine.
At least for the time being."
Oh, he so has to die next episode.
He has to die. Like, why would he still be alive? Like, he has to.
I don't even want him to die of his sickness. I want him to like get like stabbed, or like his throat slit or something. I want someone to just like go and just like.
I want someone to go ham, bro.
That's what I want. I'm just saying. I just want that. Is that too much to ask?
That's all I want for Christmas this year.
I don't care who does it. I just want someone to do it. And then I want someone to do the same thing to Papa Slytherin. That's all I want.
Fair, I see that.
That's all I want.
I'm with you on that.
All I want for Christmas is the king and Papa Slytherin dead. Brutally.
Mood. I'm here for it.
Anyway, then, Kanin talks with Sharon about what Prince Watson said. And they go off and talk about it. And he says, "Oh, whether my grandfather did this." And he's like, "I thought so at first, but it wasn't." And this is where we get a flashback to that night where they get attacked, they get shot at. Ultimately ends up with them in a crash. And we see Sudad take baby Kanin. And that's all we really get. And Sharon's like, "Oh, I probably sneaked into his car to follow them and see, my mom dead." And they're just like, "Oh yeah, no, it was Prince Watson."
I was like, "What? Wait, what are you talking about?" Like,
and I'm like, that didn't prove. That didn't tell us how they died. It didn't tell us who did it. I said this is my reaction. I think Sharon knows it's the king, but made himself not believe that. Like his
Maybe.
family and like he especially had been so loyal to the king, where in his mind it like he twisted it where like he's like, no, the king is not it. Like I think he knows it, or maybe it's like it's not the king, it is Papa Horse. We don't know, but like if it is the king, Sharon knows it, but he twisted his mind into thinking it wasn't because that's the only way he can go on with his life thinking that. Because otherwise, it's like
Here's
you know,
here's my problem with that theory. My problem with that theory is I feel like in terms of like the acting and direction, if that were true, we would see some sort of glimmer on his face that showed that he was lying or trying to force himself not to believe what he was saying. But I saw nothing but belief. Like, oh yeah, I was watching. Like,
but like we don't see any proof of Watson. That's the thing. They just believe it
I
because he's
agree.
dead, and just to, I think he wants to believe it just so he can like dismiss it and be like, I'm done with it. So that was like, oh, the person who did it is already dead. We could just move on. Like
I fully agree that it shouldn't be Wasin because
they also have no
it
proof.
seemed too easy. He has no proof, and he also just stood up and went, "Oh, it was Wasin." I'm like, okay, why? And then like they proceeded to explain nothing as to why. They just showed the scene with Wasin nowhere to be found. So I was like,
Yeah.
no. Well, then why do you know it's Wasin? Like, here's the thing. No.
No.
No proof. I don't believe it yet.
I don't either. And then there's like a whole moment where he's like, oh, I thought you would blame me for your mother's death. And it's like, no, why would I do that? And
You're a baby.
I'm like, yeah, I'm
Obviously
like,
not.
y'all, okay, no offense, but the discussion is kind of bothering me now. I just want the story. I want the lore. I want to know what happened. That's what I'm here for. This whole cute scene was like fine, but I'm like, let's move on. I'm sorry.
I feel like I want to say, you know what I want to say? This episode,
Oh, don't
if
say.
you try to, no,
Okay.
because I know what you think you're gonna say. I'm not gonna say it.
okay.
I'm not gonna say that because like that was just a whole problem in itself. This is one episode.
Right.
Yeah. But I think if we want to look at it in a positive light, this episode is hopefully the calm before the storm. Like everything seems good.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I will say, this whole week I have lowered my expectations for the finale because I don't want to get it so high up where I get disappointed. But seeing it's an hour and like 40 minutes long,
that's crazy.
I'm assuming it's gonna be good stuff. I'm assuming we're gonna get more reveals, more plot twists, some big stuff to happen. That's what I'm hoping for. And like, but I'm also lowering my expectations into the finale. So pretty much whatever happens, I'll be happy. That's what I've worked with.
We've learned to do that after you know what, but I will say,
I know
if it's an hour and 40 minutes of wholesome
I
cuteness,
swear to God, I'm gonna murder.
I'm pulling it. I'm calling it. If it's an hour and 40 minutes of cuteness, I'm calling it. Okay, I'm gonna call it.
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
I'm gonna wait.
I will like fast forward. I'll skip shit. I don't give a shit. I will like be done. It can't. Because here, well, okay, we'll talk more about this at the end. Our predictions for the finale. Because I do have some thoughts where I'm like, there's probably gonna be some happy ending stuff. I don't know. We'll get there.
There's obviously gonna be happy ending stuff. Like I'm hoping. Honestly, I'm hoping I'd be fine with the whole second half of the episode being that.
Right.
But like, I need shit to go down in the first half. And yes, we were gifted with the whole last episode being motherfucking crazy.
Right.
And I don't want to ask for too much here. But like, it's the problem is it doesn't feel all tied up.
Because
if it was all tied up in that, I'd be fine.
We haven't seen anyone do the murder for the moms yet.
Yeah.
That's the only big question mark. We heard it, sure, but I want to see it visually.
Yeah. You want to see them bash their heads in the steering wheel?
I know, we already saw that. I mean, like, I want to see visually who did it. Whether it's Watson, quote unquote, or like the king or Tharin, give the order or be in the car and doing it. I don't care. I want to see someone do it.
That's my thing is if it was Watson and if it was his men, they would show a shot of I swear they would show a shot of people in the car with their guns ready to go, like nodding at each other, like ready to shoot. We gotta see the shot inside the car. Who is in the car doing the shooting?
Right. You know what would be dumb?
I need that.
You know what would be dumb?
Mm-hmm.
If it was the king's bodyguard who did it.
Please don't.
Because that's another thing. Because they talk all about when they're being chased. It's like, oh, this must be an inside job. So it means it must be someone in the Golden Horse clan, pretty much, is what they said.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. She did say that, so it made me think something else is going
So
on.
I feel like it has to be either the king, Tharin, or the bodyguard.
Yeah, those are the only 3 people it could be.
Yes, and if it's a bodyguard, that's gonna piss me off. Because again, he's already dead. Why? Who cares?
Yeah, who
Like,
cares?
I don't want that. I want it to be the king, or I want it to be Tharin.
If it was the bodyguard, we honestly, honest to God, I think would have seen a flashback of him like telling people to go get them,
Right,
or it
because
being
we
in the
already know
park
he's
shooting.
like the bad guy, or he's a
Yeah,
bad guy.
so
quote
it would have
unquote.
shown it. It would have shown it.
Yes.
It would have had no problem showing it. So I think it's either the king or the prince. And I am really starting to look at the prince. I've been looking at the prince.
I will say the prince will be the biggest shock, and I would lose it in the best way.
I've been here. I've been saying it.
We've been saying it.
Yeah.
We're like, he seems so nice, but every time he's always like, but if you want change, win the competition so I can be king.
Yes,
every time he says that, I'm like, you are sus.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But
like,
every other
like,
time, he seems so nice and sweet.
He does. Like, literally, it's like every single episode I go, oh, that's so sweet. I feel like I can't trust you.
Right.
Like, there's something in me that's saying, don't fucking trust him, and I can't handle it. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Chakri wakes up in the hospital room.
Chakri wakes up.
Kanan and Sharon are there. And she's like still trying to get up, and he does the little like arms thing. I'm like, dude,
oh shit,
relax.
let me stand to attention.
Injured.
Like, bestie, I know you want to stand to attention. You don't need to fucking do that right now.
Yeah. And then Tharin comes in, and he's like, okay, the king's good, but the doctors recommend that he continues treatment in Davin.
He's wearing the king clothes too. Can you think that?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's wearing the fancy king clothes. He's usually in like darker clothing or other clothing, but that is specifically a king outfit.
I guess because he's like the acting king pretty much.
He is. He's the acting king. I noticed that like what second he walked in, I went, "Oh, bitch is the acting king." I wonder what's gonna happen now. Like I was like, peeping shit.
Yeah. Anyway, this is where we get the news and brief mention of like, oh yeah, so the Calvin, the Prince of Bujar, was there, but the Bujar company made a statement that like, hey, he acted on his own. This has nothing to do with us. We are not getting involved in their own politics. The end.
When I heard that, I was like, makes sense. He acted on those are his own opinions. He acted on his own. Fine. But then they're like, he's in trouble.
I would have loved in this moment a cut to Calvin with his dad.
Yeah.
See what happened. Like where? Yeah. Like I want to know. Also, what's going on with Jay and Calvin? There's one episode left. Like they ended on not good terms.
They did. They ended on very weird terms, and all we know is that like his father's not great. And if we just see like his father just for a second being like, I don't know, just saying like one sentence and leaving, I'm gonna be real annoyed. Like I feel like there was build up there, or maybe we built it up on our own. I don't fucking know, but I feel like there was.
I will say, I hate to say this. I'm gonna need King Bujar to like fucking hit Calvin. I say this because he has been built up to be this like horrible guy, and if he doesn't do that, then he wasn't, and it was just built up for no reason.
Your hand really full up immediately went up, and you were like, "Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out."
No, I know, I hate to say that because I do love Calvin. I don't want him to have that, but like, if they're gonna build this guy up to be this like big bad, like this bad guy and like this horrible like dictator type person, we're gonna need to see him like hit his son or something, because I feel
like we built that up on him being a horrible. I know. No, we
know.
The
mom texted him and was like, "Your dad will be." That's like a warning.
She said your dad won't be happy about this or some shit like that. But that's all she said. We don't know if he's like a giant ass dictator. We built so much shit up in our head just from that one interaction with the mom. We know he's probably not great, and everyone keeps saying, "Oh, Calvin's in trouble." So we know he's not a good dude. But like, that's all we know.
I'm just saying, if he doesn't end up being a bad that bad, I'm gonna be very disappointed in his character.
He's gonna be bad. I know that. But like, also, we don't have that much time to find out. Although I do say we only have one more episode left, but we also have an episode that's an hour and 40 minutes. That's the thing. So hopefully,
honestly, give me like 5 minutes of them. I'll say at most like five. I just need 5 minutes of them of his dad like yelling or like making Calvin cry. Something where it's like we see him, whether it's physically, emotionally, abuse Calvin. I hate that I'm saying that, but I want that to happen so it show that yes, he is a bad guy. Because otherwise,
I need something. Otherwise, it's all talk.
Yeah.
I'm thinking here too. I have a theory.
What's your theory?
Should I say it now? I'll say it now because it doesn't have to do with Calvin. It does. It has to do with Prince Tharin, but I feel like there's no other time to bring it up, so I'm gonna bring it up now.
Okay.
What if he's the one that did it? What if he's the one that sent through to attack them because he was because
Bujar?
what if he didn't? No. Tharin. Prince
Oh.
Tharin. There's no other time to bring it up, so I'll bring it up now. What if he's the one that did the attack because I think there's got to be two things here, twofold. One, because he was abusive, and two, that went in line with he doesn't want to be king.
Tharin?
Yeah, what if he didn't want to be king at all in the past?
Okay, maybe. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
He didn't want to be king in the past, and he was abusive. So maybe those two things went hand in hand, and he then sent people to kill originally just his child, but ended up having to be his wife and child. Because they're both in the car. They're both in the car. Okay? He's abusive. Let's line it up here. Okay?
Okay.
Twofold.
Okay.
Twofold. And then, so he sent people to kill them because he didn't want to be king, and he knew he'd be king if his kid fucking won. So he was like, nope, I'm out. And then, fast forward many years later, he finds out Kanin's alive. But this time, it's been years. And he's had a bit more time to, I don't know, see things from the king's point of view. And he's starting to be like, hey, maybe I do want to be king. And now he's starting to be like, hey, Kanan, you got to win the competition now that you're here.
That might make sense. And to add to that theory, it makes sense how in like the first or second episode or whenever, if the king knew that Tharin didn't want to be king and wanted to believe that his like wife and son were dead, there's a reason he didn't tell him about Kanan being alive.
Yes. And he definitely wouldn't have, because he would have wanted the line to continue. And so the only way to do that would be to keep Kanan alive,
right,
so that he could one day compete.
Okay. I see that.
There's an option there. There's a thought. Okay. I'll write that down too.
Okay.
Secondary theory.
Okay. Well, then we're at our prince meeting or whatever, and Tharin is announcing that Wasin is dead.
Mm.
And now there is no heir for the Shark clan, which is fine because there never was in the first place.
It never was in the first place. However, I would still like to really, really think about the problem is, if his son was born and would have been Kanan's age at that time, then where the fuck did he go? Like,
what
that's
if
the only problem.
I'm like, what's the point of that? Like, I feel like
either I think she was pregnant, because like that would make sense if his wife had just died, and then Kanan was born, and then all that went down with
right, because he said they would have been the same age, so it must have been around that time.
It would have been around that time, so it would make sense if she died when she was pregnant, and that they would have been the same age at that point. Because otherwise, it wouldn't work. Like, if his son was already born, even if he was a baby, around the same time Kanan was a baby,
where is he?
It wouldn't make sense, because where the fuck did he go? Yeah, like why would he leave? Why would he? I
feel like if the kid died, there would have been some sort of mention to that. Like,
there would have been, yeah. So
I don't know. It doesn't. Well, it doesn't matter now. Watson's dead. Like, you know.
I know. I was so excited to be like.
Him.
I was trying to, but I wanted it to be something like with them right now being like, oh well, the Menandrines are gone because there's no heir. We're fucked. Or they're fucked. Oh well, we'll have to do something. So part of me wants to be like, whoa, no, there is one.
This is a stupid question. I'm gonna look this up. Hang on. Before I say, I wanna check those.
Wanted to be like a 180 where it's like, but there is an heir. It's Jay, but like I don't think that's right.
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't make sense. I was gonna say, we know the wife had like lung cancer or something, right? From the smoke.
Yeah.
Like, what if that caused like a miscarriage or something? I don't know if that I looked it up. It doesn't directly affect it, but like
there's always a possibility.
For the cancer could. It said.
There's always a possibility. No, chemotherapy and radiation could definitely cause a miscarriage and could make you infertile as well.
So it could have been. Oh, and then it could have been like both. It could have been like miscarriage. Oh no, then infertility. Oh no, and it's like that's a. But I would have liked to at least mention, be like, oh, like you made my wife barren or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're at a tail end of like he has a secret son somewhere and he doesn't know it. I think that's
maybe
done.
Or they're just gonna, or maybe they forgot about that and kind of just put that aside. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna elect someone new to lead, and it's gonna be like Jay or Jay's like sister or like some sort of someone related to Jay, because I feel like Jay has
I feel like he's too young.
He's like the same age as like fucking Sharon.
No.
No, not Sharon. Fucking Kanin.
Yeah, I know, but like, that's the thing. All the people that have been leading so far have been the dads, so they would be dad age. That would be my guess.
Well, okay. Well, if Darren is not an evil person and he ends up winning and becoming king, he could name like the mom, Jay's mom, or something, or like maybe Kanin can be like, hey, Jay seems cool. Or like his sister, or some, someone that I don't know.
I don't trust this bitch. He ain't gonna name anyone.
Well, he says he's like, well, with no one there, I shall assume temporary government of that clan as well. And I'm like, so to clarify, not only is he prince of the Golden Horse clan right now, he's also acting king, and now he's also assuming temporary governorship over the Shark clan.
Yeah.
That seems a bit power hungry to me. I'm just saying.
That seems like a little too much power in one person's hands, like too fast. Yeah. I was like, I don't know, bro. We're getting a little too powerful too quickly.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And Kanin brings up the point. He's like, why don't we elect someone?
That's later, yeah.
Oh, that's later.
Yeah. That's when the kids are present, but this is just a papa's.
So now he's got governingship over basically like 2 areas, but like in
half of Emily.
I don't know, bro. That seems a little sus to me.
He could start a war right now if he wanted to.
He could start a war right now and take over the other 2 clans if he wanted to, because he got the power of 2.
Anyway, then they bring up the fact that, hey, so for the royal competition, we're going to forget the first 2 things, and we're just going to do the fencing.
I knew it, too. I knew it, because he was like, the first competition was tampered with. Boo. And the second competition was blown up. And so, I was like, well, that just leaves fencing. We're just going to end with fencing. I bet we are just going to do fencing. All for all. Who's going to win?
Okay. Yes, probably that. But also, do we think that... so, I feel like Thurin was speaking for the king at that point. But do we think the king at all was like, so my plan to make Kanin win all, like, the voting thing backfired, and with the archery stuff, let's just forget about that and go back to the old way. Because I know I tried to change it just to help Kanin win, but since that didn't work out, we're going to scrap that and just go back to the way things were.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Because, like,
just want to say that the king is literally changing everything the way he seems fit.
Yeah, exactly. He usually does.
Then we get Papa Slytherin with Ramil and Peitai.
Jesus fucking Christ. This was hard to watch. This was difficult.
This was uncomfortable for everyone.
Yep. Yes, it was.
So Papa Slytherin's, he's yelling and he's like, those freaking Golden Horse people trying to change things because they knew you would win. And Ramil's like crying at this point. And he's like, why are you crying? You're supposed to be angry. And he like charges towards him, but Peitai steps in.
He steps in front, which I have not seen before. Like, bitch stepped right in between them, and I literally feared for my life. I was like, oh, motherfucking shit. Like, I was like, am I gonna die right now?
Well, we know that Peitai has always taken the beating for Ramil.
Yep.
And so, like, obviously he's doing it because he loves him, but also it's, like, in his nature as well to be like, hey, don't hurt him, hurt me. And the Papa Slytherin's like, you have no right to stand in my way. He throws him on the ground, steps on him, and then tells Ramil to step on his face.
I was really hoping he wouldn't, because I thought this, I was like, we have 1 episode left after this. This feels like the kind of moment where it's going to be like, you know what? No, I'm done doing what you're telling me to do. But the problem is the fear of his father is so strong. It's hard to break free from fear like that. So I feel bad for him.
I saw a tweet, and it was like the image of like someone smoking or something, and it read like, when you understand both Ramil and Peitai in this situation, and I'm like, mood.
I did. I fully did. Oh, it was like I was going back and forth, going, oh motherfucker, because like, on the one hand, fear is a very strong thing. It's very hard to break out of something, especially if it's like taught and if it's habit. Like, he has been through it over and over and over again.
I wouldn't even call it fear. I'd call it it's abuse. Like, it's full on.
It's abuse.
Like, he can.
It's both. Yeah.
It's a lot harder to break free from your like abuser than it seems to be. Like, especially someone who's like in power, like his father is in some way. Like,
Exactly. It's like it's like it's not the same because it's different, but it's like Stockholm syndrome-ish kind of like feeling where it's like I can't disobey this person because I've always been like it's habit to be
right, right, right,
lower than and
right,
to be
right,
abused and to be feared. You can't just say no. But also poor Pei Tai, like
right. Yeah, and we'll
I
get
mean you
there in a
can't
sec. His
just
whole speech, which
yeah.
again is very valid. And to Ramil's credit, he at first he says he can't do it.
Yeah.
He says no at first, but then his dad's like, "You're gonna do it," and we see him like breaking down in tears as he's like puts his foot on his head. And like a part of me was like, maybe he's doing this and like not putting pressure on his foot really, and then like because otherwise he'll know that his dad will and it'll hurt him more. And I was trying to
But
think
it
of a way
doesn't
that maybe this is
matter.
like helping him in a way,
No,
but
it doesn't because it's not about the pain or the
no, I know
force. It's
yeah,
about
for Tai, it's about the act of
the
it all.
humiliation. Yeah.
And then Pop Slytherin leaves, and Grimel steps off him and sits down to bed. And Petai's like, "You're pathetic."
Yeah.
And
He like immediately backed away from him when he went up to him. I was like, honestly, fair. I see it. Like I get
it's
it.
fair, yeah. And we see Ramil going for a kiss, but Petai kind of like pushes him away. And he says like, "I've suffered all this time, and you were there with me." And Ramil like, "I've always protected you, and no one would mess with you." And he's like, "Except for
Yeah.
your dad."
Yeah.
Like, which makes sense. Is like his dad's been like the only exception to that.
That's the thing because up until this moment, it was always Ramil's dad that hurt him,
Right.
that hurt Pei Tai. But this was Ramil himself. It might have been at the hands of his
Right.
father,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
but it was Ramil's foot on his face, and he's like, I thought that the amount of times that the amount of times that he's like metaphorically and physically now stepped in front of his father to stop him from hurting him, and Ramil hasn't done it at all, is you can only take so much of that.
Yeah.
And I understand that he's, you have to crack at some point.
And he does. And Petai says like, "Let the matter that's been between us end here,"
We're done. Yeah.
which is essentially a breakup.
Yeah.
Which
I don't blame him, and I feel so bad for Ramil
I
too. Like,
it's like again, it's like I get both of them, and they are both like valid for this situation of what's happening. But
yeah,
it just sucks to watch.
it sucks ass, and so I'm gonna really need someone to kill Papa Slytherin immediately.
That's why I'm saying, someone just take a knife and go to town. Ramil Petai, I don't give a shit who. Butler?
They both of them have like pros and cons and like and shit they're going through, and it's understanding for both of them. But the real like thorn in their garden, if you want to put a nudge to it, is the father. So he's gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
But also, this shows that Ramil needs to maybe do some work on himself in order to be that kind of person to step up when someone is about to hurt Pei Tai or when he's forced to do it. So he does need to. It's not just his father; it's him as well that needs to work on some stuff.
Yeah. And Petai says, though in private, I consent to being your devoted servant. But in real life, I have my own dignity.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I wish to be honored as your lover.
Yeah. If you're not gonna do that after like so much of what I've taken, I'm out.
Yeah. And they're both like crying and as Petai walks out.
That's so fucking sad.
Yeah,
Bro.
and Ramil just like he literally collapses to the floor afterwards. Like when he's alone, he just like falls to the floor. I'm like, I'm gonna need him to make up in some way next episode.
Ramil has to. That's what I said in my videos to you. I was like, he needs to stand up in the middle of the competition or something and say, "Fuck you, I withdraw," to like his father or something like that, in order for that to make a difference for Pei Tai. I think because I feel like that would be the way in standing up to his father that it would work. I feel like in private and him just telling his father off, I don't know if it's going to be enough for Pei Tai because of how much he's taken. I don't know. He's gonna have to like withdraw or just like say, I'm out from this whole thing.
I will. This is okay. I do need to bring something up after this. So I saw on Twitter. apparently, this incident with them and something else happens later were different in the novel.
Really?
I believe in the novel, I think from what I got, don't quote me on this, but I believe in the novel, Ramil actually stood up against his father.
Really?
Yes. And I will say, I don't know how different the novel is from the show, but in the show, I don't think I could see Ramil making this decision in the show from who we know him as in the show. But I could have also seen him stand up for his father as well, based off the character in the show.
I thought he was gonna.
I did too. But in the novel, I don't know if he's different or like there's more scenes with them and it's more in depth that it's more like stuff that maybe didn't make it in the show. I don't know. But I just want to bring that up because I know a lot of people were pissed off that like the novel was different. But yeah.
Here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if that's going to change things and if this is going to be the final word on it, or if we're going to get something next episode where we get that initial standing up to his father incident.
I hope so. If Ramil and Peitai don't end up together, I'm going to be pissed. I have invested too much in this side couple for me to fucking.
You have, yeah. I have not invested that much. I mean, honestly, this was one of the first few times where I went, Jesus fucking Christ. I like both of you, and I'm so sorry for what you're going through. So, like, it's more
when you were sending me the videos, it sounded like you were about to cry or something, or like you were like getting like real like in the feels when you were watching the scene.
Oh, bro, I get in the feels every time. I'll watch a commercial and get in the feels. Okay, I'm getting the feels way too easily.
Anyway, then we get Kanin and Sharon give flowers to their mother's grave.
Yeah.
And this is where someone comes over and they're like, "Hey, there was word on the king, and he's fine."
And he's fine, yeah. And they're like, "Great."
Yeah.
Can we see him?
And then we're back in the prince with their children now. This is the thing. And
King's great.
Yeah.
Yay.
And Tharin says, like, yes, he's fine. And he wants us to continue with the competition, even though no one's allowed to see him.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the king, when can we see him? Not yet. What do you mean? I thought we'd see him today. Oh, no. And so, but at this point, I was like, I bet the king's dead. He's lying. But he's not.
And what he says later in this episode also made me think that I didn't know if that was a flashback or something, but like,
yeah, it could have been a flashback. Honestly, I will say, I would not be shocked if that was a flashback, and he's just telling them that he's not dead yet, or that he's fine because he wants them to go forward with the competition, like you said.
Yeah. So the Tharin says like, yes, we will continue with the competition. We will just do the fencing. And Papa Phoenix stands up. And he's like, I actually would like to withdraw Ava from the competition because based on what happened to our competition, I don't want to risk losing my daughter.
Yeah, it's fucking dangerous, bro. I'm not doing that, risking that.
But he says ultimately, it's Ava's choice.
Fair, and I like that he gave her that choice.
Yeah. She says, she's like, look, I wanted to like prove myself that being a woman doesn't make me any less. And I kind of realized that I don't really need to prove myself to anyone. And
oh my god,
so yes. I would like to withdraw.
So she withdraws. And honestly, I love that for her. Like, she, like, as it was showing the flash throughs, before she said, I realized I don't need to prove myself to you, I was fully gonna expect her to say, and I think she means this too, is, honestly, with all that I've done, I feel like I did prove myself.
Yeah.
So I don't need to keep trying to do it, you know? Like, I don't need to continue to try and prove myself. Right. I know my worth. And now, hopefully, my father knows my worth. It seems like he might as well.
The fact that he gave her the choice.
Yeah.
Seemed like that. Which is all she wanted. All she wanted was to prove herself, really, to her father. It wasn't so much everyone else. It was just her father, and it seems like we got that. This was the other change in the novel. In the novel, she actually does not withdraw.
Really?
And people were mad about that, too.
I don't know if I have an opinion on it. Because if she chose to continue competing, I mean, fine. I would have been fine with that too. But, like, just her speech of, like, I know my worth and I don't need to prove it to you was fucking awesome as well. And so, again, like, I don't really have a...
And based on the Ava we've seen in this show, same thing with the Ramil.
Yeah.
I could see her competing or not and withdrawing. But yeah. I don't know how different the novel is, or maybe their characters are slightly different, where it's like the novel one is like, no, she wants to win, she wants to compete. That's, like, her big thing. And that then it wouldn't make sense. But, like... from what happened in the show, And from what
It
we've
makes
seen in the
sense.
show with Ramila and Ava as characters, what happened differently in the novel and in the show didn't seem out of character to me.
Not at all. No, it seemed perfect for her,
Yeah.
honestly.
So maybe in the novel they're like written differently or they're not exactly the same. I don't know, but from just people who've seen the show, I think that this tracked in character for them.
This tracks. I really liked it from her.
Yeah. And then Kanan stands up and he's like, "Wait, shouldn't we wait for the king to be healed before we continue the competition?" And he's like, "No, it was the king who wanted to do this," Tharin says. Then Tharin's like, "Well, now we need to talk about that Prince Wasin is dead. And we're going to say it was an accident during his travels, and we'll send a condolence letter. We'll wrap that up all nicely."
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't tell the people the early heaven. It's all a front to make sure that the people don't lose faith in the monarchy.
Yeah, exactly. And Pop Slytherin asks, he's like, "Well, what are we going to do since Watson had no heir? Who's going to take over?" And Papa Phoenix is like, "Well, we should appoint someone who's qualified to lead the region." And so they're all talking about like what to do with the whole Shard clan now that no one is really in control there anymore. This is where what you brought up earlier. Like, I'd like to chime in here and ask, like,
Yeah.
why are we the people? Why don't they vote for the leader?
Yeah. I was like, how about we try democracy? What a foreign concept, I know.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like that. Like, this whole show is based off a monarchy. I don't think they would do that. Like,
Yeah.
I
But also, here's the thing: they were having the people vote on the one of the competitions.
that was only because it would benefit Kanin, or so the king thought.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm just saying they've done it. Like,
Well, no, but again, it's the king's rule. The king thought it would benefit Kanin, so he did it. This does not benefit Kanin in winning competition anyway. So he's like, so it's not going to happen.
yeah.
I think that's what it boils down to. And then we're back on this balcony with Kanin and Tharin. And like, I feel like every time that we're on this balcony, Tharin seems more suspicious.
I'm telling you, this balcony has a way.
This
I don't know what
balcony
it
makes
is.
him look evil. I'm just saying.
It does. It really does.
This is like an evil balcony or something, because
It's an evil balcony.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry if you're disappointing me. That's just the way things are." And Kanan asks, like, "Well, if I win, will you change the way we rule?" And he looks at him and he says, "I will do all that I can."
That's a bitch of
That's
an answer.
not a yes.
That's not a yes. It's a little bitch of an answer. Nah. See, because the second he pulled it out for a second time, and now I know he's a motherfucker. It's as I said to you in my little videos. I'm 90% sure now that he's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because, like, you pull that out once, it's a little. I'm gonna flag that in my brain a little bit, just in case it comes back later. But you do it twice. I don't know. That's sus. 3 times is definite, but like 2 is like, okay, now I need to look at you.
Yeah.
Now you're becoming a problem because you've now used the excuse of if you win, I can help twice.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No,
Something
I
else
don't.
going on.
He's also not giving him a definite yes or no answer. He's being like, "Oh, I will try my best.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can."
He keeps saying I'll try my best and do what I can. It's like, if you're king, you should be like, yeah, for sure. Like, if then because you have that decision. If you're king, you will have the ability to do it. So you should be able to give a yes or no answer. So what are you doing?
And then Kanan asks, he's like, "Well, then why did you reject my idea just now in the palace?" And he says, which I think is fair, he said, "What you wanted is for everyone to give up their power." They would not do that.
They would not do that.
Yeah. That's like, so I'm at that point, I'm like, fair, I agree to that, because
we know they wouldn't do that, yeah.
And he asks again, and he's like, "But would you give it up?" And he says, if you win, wait and see what happens. It's like, it's not he's not saying, yes, I'll give it up if I win. No, he's saying, he's saying, sit back and watch. See what happens.
Yeah, sit back and watch. Win, sit back and watch, and we'll see what I could do. He's essentially being like, I just need to get him to the finish line so I can become king, and then it won't matter. Because I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. Oh.
And then he's like, "Oh, by the way, the king says he's sorry." And we get this flashback scene of Tharin with the king. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should have gave you a better life. I'm the one who set you on this path. Like deep down, I knew you were unhappy." Which again plays into your theory that he didn't want to be king at first.
It
Um,
does.
Honestly, I did not give a shit about this scene. I'll be honest. I do not care about the king.
All I think about it is that if it's a flashback and he could be dead.
He could. That's the thing.
That
This is a flashback,
it
so
is
he
a flashback,
could
we
be
know,
dead.
but like he
Um,
could be dead.
and yeah, the king's just like, "Oh, all I wanted was to make the Golden Horse clan flourish. Like, even if it didn't benefit me, like, if I leave this world, I won't stand in the way of its glory." I'm like, that's weird. But then he
That's
also,
weird, bro.
but then Thorin's like, and then come back to the present day with on the evil balcony, and Thorin's like, that's what your grandfather wanted, was for you to win." I'm
Well, we
like,
know that.
no, I know, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we know that. So why are you bullshitting right now? Why are you
I
telling
don't
me
know.
shit? Like, nah, I really don't I don't trust him now. Before I was hesitant on whether or not to trust him or not, and now I'm like, nah, I fully don't trust you. Something very weird is going on. I don't know for sure, but I can feel it in my jellies.
I do not trust him.
I don't trust him. I really don't. I had trust issues before, but now I'm sure that they were correct.
Yeah, the
My
light
gut
is being
instinct
shined
was
on him
correct.
now. Like we are taking close eye on him.
My gut instinct, I should have listened to it. I was listening to it every time we fucking did one of these episodes and he had a scene. I was like, nah,
He seems
maybe
nice, but
he seems nice, but there was always a but.
there's always
He
a
seems
but.
nice, but
Then Conan and Sharon are in bed, and they're talking about making Emily better and all that stuff.
bitch, when did they like move in together? Can I
I
ask
don't
this?
know.
Like, because I was like, oh, Conan's just in bed, and he turned around and Charon's there, and I'm like, okay, when did this happen? Was it when the king was incapacitated and now we can sleep wherever the fuck we want? Like, I was like, holy shit. Usually he's like, I can't do that. It's improper. But
Well, now
like,
they got to the point where like everyone kind of knows they're together, and it's not really like a thing anymore. No one really cares anymore.
damn, bro. I had no idea we were at that point.
I mean, I figured
I didn't figure.
based off everything else that happened. So then we got Conan doing fencing training with Sharon, and then he asks his pseudo dad, and he's like, "Hey, I want to fight you now." And they fight, and we see that Conan falls, and he's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And he gets up and like pricks him and wins. And we get a flashback to when he did that when they were kids, or when he was a kid.
That was so cute. That was hella cute. I will say, I was like, oh no, they're trying to make me cry.
That too, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute," but I'm also like, I don't think that would work on Ramil, so like maybe don't do that in the actual competition.
Yeah, no, it's just them having fun. But it's
No, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It showcases how fucking different this is because this was a masterful cut. We got this,
and
and
then
it was happy.
Ramil with like fucking
pianos.
ankle and wrist weights tie him down. He falls, and Prince Wasit or Prince Ratchata or Pop Slytherin, whatever we call him, he's like, "Oh, don't help him up. He can do it himself."
Don't help him up. He has to do it himself. I was like, that was one of my favorite transitions, my favorite cuts in this show. They knew what they were doing with that because it was happy piano music, it was memories, it was smiles, it was hugging, and then it immediately cuts to silence and like dark like organ music playing, or I don't fucking. It was like really really sad or deep music, and it just had Ramil sweaty, tired, constantly like bending on a knee that looked like he didn't want to bend on it, and just angry faces watching him. And I was like, this cut is awesome. Like, it really shows the contrast, the difference between what they are going through individually and how it's maybe going to play out in the competition, how it'll benefit each player or how it won't. So
No, I agree with everything you said. Like the cut of like Ramil being like forced to do this really all alone because Beitai's not even there. We get a scene where like another person's there and he looks up thinking it's Beitai and it's not.
It's not. He's like, "Where's Beitai?" He's like, "Oh, we haven't seen him in like a few days," and it's like, he ain't here. He said, "Fuck it, I'm out." Like,
Do we think he like fled Emily and like left?
I don't think he fled Emily. I'm wondering if he's maybe at the school because that's where he would go. Like, he would go and paint with Charan, and like, I'm wondering if he's maybe just doing school related shit because he was over there before. I don't know if he's like, wasn't he studying art at one point? Yeah.
He was a little artiste.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he's doing that or if he's gone like to maybe wherever his home was before this. But I think he's still in Emily.
Yeah. So now it's right before the fencing competition, And Chakri is helping kind of, and he's like, "Look, you don't need to like look after me anymore. You're still recovering." And he's like, "No, I felt better once I saw you."
I told you, once I saw your face, I felt immediately better. And that might be royal bullshit, but I love it. I don't give a fuck.
I will say I'm like I mean I love Chakri, but I do kind of wish he died. They lost no one in that giant episode where everyone was dying.
We
no
lost
no
the
one
bad
on their
guys.
good side died.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't give a fuck because I don't want Chakri to die. If
It was either
any...
Chakri or Suda, I'll be honest. Those are the only two people who were like, where it would make an impact.
Yeah.
Like imagine instead of this scene, we would have got a scene where like kind of flashes back to Chakri because it's like someone else, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight for you. Like I'm gonna do this to avenge you." And I don't know.
I'm happy he's alive.
I'm happy he's alive, like personally.
Yeah.
But like story wise, I feel like
okay, I do see that's kind of interesting. I will see. I agree with you there. It's always interesting when someone dies. It's always interesting when someone dies.
It always is. And it's more interesting when it's someone you love and care about, because then it's like destroys you emotionally.
Which is why Charlie should have died.
That wouldn't destroy you emotionally.
No, but it would have been fucking interesting. The first interesting thing to happen in that fucking season.
But also, I will say, it wouldn't have made sense for the story, because like he is such a crucial part of the story where it wouldn't have made nothing else moving forward would have made sense.
They could. We don't know that. We didn't see the rest of the show if he did die. They could have.
No, I know, but knowing what I've seen in season 2 and the rest of season 1, it's like it wouldn't have made sense.
But if they wrote him dying, then they would have wrote it a different way. So you don't know that.
But it wouldn't have made sense because he had Babe's power, then that's what he wanted, and then like without that, it's like, oh, the end. But I'm like, that's not satisfying. Tony needs to fucking like die, or you know.
I don't give a fuck. It was interesting. It was the first interesting thing to happen in that show, and they fucked it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say, I wasn't gullible enough to believe it that one of the main characters in the main ship in a BL would die on episode 9 out of 13. I wasn't gullible enough to believe that either, so maybe that's why I wasn't as upset with you, because I was like, oh, he's alive.
Wow, shots fired.
I'm just saying! Context clues! It's episode 9 out of 13. He's one of the main guys in the main ship. Let's be real here.
I'm not built with context clues. That's like an extra add-on I haven't purchased. I have not purchased that add-on.
Oh, well, then you should. It helps a lot.
I'm sure it does. I just watch the story and react in real time with the characters. I don't look forward.
Nah, yeah, I knew from the start. So that's why it didn't bother me, because I'm like, oh, he's fine. He'll live.
I was so excited. I was like, yeah, death!
It was even in the finale of the season 2 pivot where he was like dying on the floor. I'm like, but he drank his power. He can revive. He's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's like I just know. Like I'm just like
honestly, at that point I would have known because he drank.
Right? Yeah. No. I feel like anyone would know, and they're all like crying over him. Like he's gonna be fine.
Guys, it's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the next prince. Kanin looks up at his dad in the stands.
That was a villain-ass shot. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no.
Like,
when
it went close up on him, that was like fine. It was just a shot. But I swear to God, the shot before that of him looking up at him in the like stands,
right.
like in the kind of shadowed half in darkness, that was a villain-ass shot. It reminds me of Star Wars Force Awakens with it's President Snoke. And he's not just up in the rafters, he's fucking giant. And so all of the people under him are just looking up at this motherfucker. And it reminds me, it's very clearly a power balance it's showing a power balance in like real space. Like you are below this person. You have to look up at them. That's what that shot is saying. And I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
And then we get a parallel shot of Ramil looking up at his own father, where it's very clearly a villainous shot, and Ramil's like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. The thing is, here's the thing. He's afraid of his father, so I feel like in any other instance, he wouldn't throw this competition because he'd be afraid of what his father would do to him. But we have reached a point. We have reached a boiling point. We've reached a breaking point. His boyfriend has left him, and he knows this because he hasn't been back in days. So I'm wondering what he's going to do. If he's going to throw it or not.
I'm wondering is he going to, because we end the episode with like them about to start, I am wondering, is he gonna throw it? Because like, also he doesn't want his dad as king.
No, he
I
doesn't.
don't think.
I wouldn't.
He
Like, bro, I literally was saying to the screen, I was like, bro, you really don't want your dad to be king. I know you fucking don't. So what are we doing here? I know you're afraid of him hurting you, and that's the main reason why he's continuing to do it. He's
or
afraid
pay
of the
tie.
repercussions.
That's the thing. Like,
Or pay tie. He's afraid of
right.
the repercussions. And I think once he breaks out of that fear, easily he would stop this competition. He would throw it immediately. We just need him to work past that, like, immediately. And then get some therapy after.
Yeah. So, that's the end of the episode. Who's the MVP for this episode?
Do we have one?
Eh.
This is all reliant on the next episode. I want to give it to Prince Tharin if he's actually the one fucking masterful planning all this shit.
Well, because we don't know that, I don't want to give it to him if it ends up like not being the case. I was gonna give it to Peitai because he actually stood up to himself.
You know what? I agree.
Like, as much as the scene like broke me, but I do think like he stood up for himself, which is something he needed to do.
Yep.
And hopefully after this, him and Ramil can move forward with this and their relationship. Once they kill Papa Slytherin, and things will be good. But I do think he's the only one who like did something that did benefit himself. As hard as it was, I do think this benefited him in a positive way.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, and no one else really did.
No one else really did. Mine would have literally been only reliant on whatever the fuck happens next episode.
Right.
So I will agree with you on Peitai.
Yeah. Because he's the only one we know confirmed did something for himself, and I'm assuming this is gonna help him in the end.
Hopefully. We'll see, I guess, in this hour and 40-minute long shit. Jesus Christ. I'll write our secondary, at least my secondary theory down.
Right, yeah,
on the board.
Tharin. That's a good one, actually. I do like that one.
Do we think the paintings will be of any consequence? Because I've written them down.
I think the paintings were, like, descriptive of the moment when they were shown and, like, talked about, but I don't really know, like, what the fuck anymore.
Well, I can erase, I'll erase the clues that we have, because the only clues I have that aren't crossed off are rain and bloody windshield, and I feel like those aren't really clues that we need.
No, those weren't clues. They were just evidence of,
no,
like,
that was just
we
evidence
also saw
of
it happen.
That was just evidence from the flashbacks, and now that we've seen the full scene, we don't fucking need that. So I'm gonna erase clues, suspects, and paintings. I'm gonna rewrite down the suspects on the edge, and then I'll put the secondary theory next to the main theory. We'll see what happens.
Okay. So nothing else for the board then?
Nah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, that was our recap of The Next Prince, episode 13, the penultimate episode.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh my god. Yeah, which is why it doesn't have the penultimate episode curse, which is why I was sus.
No, that's the thing. I'm like, what? Like, that's why I was kind of like, this is kind of boring. Because they kept, like, building stuff up where, like, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Like, with the mom's flashback, even with, like, Calvin and Boujar.
So I'm wondering if the last episode is, like, an hour and 40 minutes long. I'm wondering if, like, penultimate episode is going to be, like, the first half of that episode. Which will be, like, an episode long. An episode long of angst. And then, like, the second half will be where everything's healed.
Yeah, I'm also convinced that Kanin's gonna win. Whether it's where Ramil fights him or like throws it or doesn't even bother fighting or whatever, I do feel like Kanin's gonna win. His dad's gonna become king, and that's where his evil plan will be revealed.
Here's my thought.
Ooh.
What if Kanin finds out while the competition is still happening? What if there's like a break? What if they find shit out? What if he finds out that his father is actually up to no good and has been up to no good this whole time? Here's my thought. What if they both throw it? What would happen?
I don't know, because I'm like...
What would happen?
Because here's the thing. Who's the lesser of two evils? Papa Slytherin or Papa Horse? If Papa Horse is actually evil like we think, there's no winner.
That's what I'm thinking, is we would have to really, like, delve deep into what the fuck is gonna happen now if we both throw it and we both withdraw. Because here's my thing.
I say, here's what
this is the only way I think it would happen. This is the only way I think it would happen if they both withdraw. I would think Kanin finds out that his father's doing shit in, like, a break or something in the middle of the competition, and then he decides to say, you know what, I withdraw at the beginning of the next set or something like that. And then the king of fucking Prince Rachado will be like, oh fuck yeah, I win. And but then his son will be like, you know what? Fuck it, I withdraw too. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that would be the way it would happen. But then you got to figure out what happens after
Well, here's the thing.
that. Mm.
We know what would happen because right now Prince Tharin is the acting king, which means if there's no competition, odds are he would just stay as the king.
Maybe because yes, he's the acting king,
Well,
but
what
that's
else would
on
they
the.
do? If the competition isn't happening,
He
there's
is
like
acting king on the
yes,
premise that the king is still alive.
and the king would name him the king.
He can't do that though. That's he can no. He literally can't do that because that's
Why
against
not?
that. Okay, that would change things. For one, it would make him a dictator if he's the one making all the rules and changing all the rules, similar to what's going on in this country right now.
Did you not see what happened with the competition?
I did see
He
what happened.
changed the
No,
rule
I
and then
did.
changed it back.
I did, but he's been doing it subtly. This would be a very obvious rule change because this is the basis on how all rule is decided. It would be like changing your fundamental government voting system, which is what Trump is trying to do right fucking now. So, like, I see the parallels a little bit, and I don't think he wouldn't, at the very least, he would try and he would say do it, but at the very least, he wouldn't be allowed to because he would probably he could try and do it and he could even succeed. But my point is that it's not part of the rules. Like the whole point of their royal governing system is to have it so the sons and daughters compete so that their father becomes king. So if you have kings just going, actually my son's king, you can't do that. That's not part of the rules. And he's acting king right now with the premise that the king is still alive. So if the king dies, I feel like all the other princes are going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't just do that. Your father just can't name you king. We got to do something else. We got to figure out some other shit because we got to come up with some new system because you can't do that. That's not part of the rules.
I agree with you, except for the fact that this is the final episode, which means he doesn't care about being Saul anymore, I don't think. And honestly, he is the king, and Tharin is the prince, and acting king, kind of. Who would stop them? Like, and even if they try to, what are they gonna do? Like, if the competition is what names the next king, and the competition just stops existing because none of the heirs want to fight, then like, are they going to create a new rule? Because who's going to create a new rule?
I would say create a new rule, but somewhat obviously the rule would have to maybe be voted on or decided on. However, let's think about what would actually happen in this situation. I feel like story-wise, maybe it would succeed in him being like, oh, my son's gonna be king now. But when he would try and tell the others in their big room of meeting, I feel like the other two would be like, hold on, that's not a thing, screw that, we don't agree. And in that moment, I feel like that's when we would see Prince Tharin's true colors, when he's like, okay, they're not agreeing to the king, arrest them. And his loyal band of army take him out, and then he'll be the sole ruler with no one in his way. So I feel like that's how, if all this went down, that is how it would play out. Obviously, there is a rule. I'm just trying to point out the fact that there is a rule. I am playing here. In terms of not me, I'm playing Nucci here. If you remember Graham and Nucci, they were always fighting on, like, they agreed on the same stuff, but they didn't agree on, like, the law. Like, she's like, this is the law. I agree with you, but this is the law. Like, they were always fighting in class. It was his trans ex-girlfriend. Remember? She would always be like, it was her, Graham, and White in one class.
No.
You make me sad. Okay.
Oh, look, that show burned me, okay? I don't think about that.
Well, okay, she was basically, they were arguing a lot. They were on the same side for a lot of issues, personally. But she was like, I get what you're saying. Because he would be like, speaking from the heart, like, no, but how could you say that? She'd be like, because it's the law. I hate it too, but I'm just telling you what the book says. Like, so this is, I think, what's happening now. You're like, nah, but the king's gonna do it. And I'm like, the king's gonna do it, but he shouldn't be allowed to.
No, he shouldn't be allowed to, but he's a king. No one's gonna stop him. Or yeah. Tharin is, like, that's the thing. I think the king is desperate now. He literally said in his maybe deathbed, we don't know, but he literally said, all I want is for our clan to rule and see it flourish. If I have to die to do it, so like, he doesn't give a shit about anyone else. He wants his clan to stay in power. And if that means if the competition doesn't happen, he's like, fine, then we're gonna stay in power, and you could try the next generation, see when they have kids. Will that work? Which won't happen because all of them are gay. So, and then the competition's dead regardless.
Because all of them are gay. I'm gonna cry.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Dead regardless. Even if it happens in this will be the last competition if it goes through.
Because all of them are gay.
Let's get all the spade to spade here.
No, that took me out. That was funny. All of them are gay.
It's true. It's not gonna happen. They can't. There's gonna be no more heirs after this.
That's so funny. No, I'm banking it.
This is our last generation.
I'm banking it on like who's the one with the like fancy tech? I feel like it's Phoenix Clan. They'll find a way to reproduce. They got the fancy tech. There's always advanced technology in Emily. They'll figure out.
God, fucking creating an AI child or something?
Please don't.
No, thank you. Yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens. We don't even know if they're going to withdraw. I still think Kanin's going to win. I don't think there's going to be an intermission. I think Kanin's going to win. He came here to win, and he's going to win. His dad's going to be in charge, and then... Honestly, you know what I think's going to happen? I think he's going to go back to London with Dad.
I wouldn't put that past him, absolutely. Like,
because I think because he's always said, like, oh, he wants to make Emily, quote unquote, better by letting his dad win, quote unquote. And then once he does that, he might go back with Dad to London, because he always said, like, oh, like, should I give him my heir to be with Sharon? Maybe Sharon will go with him.
He mentioned
and they'll
that,
just
yeah.
fuck off in London, and then maybe they'll see what his dad's actually doing, and it's like bad stuff, and he's like, wait, we need to go back. We need to fix this.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Here's the thing. I feel like there's two extremes that could happen. Either, like Kanin has mentioned, he would give up his title and move back to London with Dad and maybe get Charon to go with him, if Charon would agree. I know he's very keen on being a royal guard sometimes, but I feel like also he's looking to break out of that. And the other extreme is just like, everyone fails at what they gotta do, and so Kanin ends up being appointed king or something like that. Or like...
Kanin is king?
No, like, you know what I mean. Like, two extremes is what I'm saying. Two extremes. There's two extremes of what could happen. Either he moves back to London, or maybe they
stay and forced to be the prince.
Stay and forced to be the prince. That works too. I'm just thinking like king in terms of like maybe his father is killed, or they have to arrest him or something. They're like, well, who's gonna be king? And then they like have to get one of the kids to do it or something like that.
Well, wouldn't Thyren be the king if he wins?
That's what I'm saying. What if he dies, or what if he's put in prison because they notice that he's doing shit, and so they put in prison.
And then Kanin becomes king. And
then we're like, they're like, well, we're without a king now. What the fuck do we do? And so like they have to figure shit out. I don't know. Make one of.
So in other words, you're saying the same thing I was saying earlier, except with the Thyren and Kanin, not the king and Thyren. Is that, oh, there's no competition, there's no one to do it, we'll just name the son of the current king.
No, I said one of the kids. Like, it doesn't have to be Kanin. It could be one of the kids.
Oh, okay, I see.
She goes, they have to figure it out. Mainly, I'm saying that Prince Thyren is found out, put in prison, and then they have to figure shit out again.
Okay, here's what I think should happen. Okay, so Kanin wins, Thyren becomes king. Then Kanin realizes that, oh, his dad kind of sucks. Somehow they kill Thyren, or he dies, or something happens. He gets lung cancer, they kill him, whatever happens. He dies. Kanin becomes king. And he's like, you know what? Let's make this a democracy, and I go back to London. And then dips out, and Emily becomes democracy.
My first law as king is to say there's no more monarchy. Fucking bye, everybody.
Honestly, I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't know. Because here's the thing. Kanin doesn't want to be royalty. He wants to go back to London.
So wait, this is basically what I said like 1 or 2 episodes ago. Basically, someone is appointed to the head of the monarchy and now can see through the end of the monarchy and start putting a democratic government into place. Yeah. And peacefully ending. You were like, they can't just end the fucking. Yes, if we put
if there's no one else, because like I said, the competition can't continue. After this competition, this is the last competition that can happen.
Yeah.
Then what?
There
will be no more heirs for either clan. Because Wasin's dead, that clan's wiped out,
and everyone's
no one
gay!
else can produce any more heirs, so like...
And we're all gay, so like...
Yeah, I'm just saying.
However, also I would like to say at this point, I have been saying lesbians for 13 episodes, and we've not seen one interaction that has spelled that out between Mira and Ava. And
What
that
are you
is
talking about?
stressing me out. There hasn't been a single fucking thing. I've
They
noticed
had
it.
to talk that one episode where she like held her hand and she's like, "Hey, you are good. You need to like relax." When she was drunk.
Barely noticed anything there, I will say. I noticed it more in the commercial or the trailer than I did here.
I will say,
I'm stressed.
I think it's because I believe um the actress who plays Ava is like 17 and the actress who plays Mira is like 20
Oh.
something. So I feel like they can't give too much with them.
Good. Yeah, don't do that, please.
So I think there's that. I think I read that somewhere, but so maybe that's why there's no. I don't expect them to maybe kiss or anything. I feel like it might be like a maybe there'll be like a hand hold or like a hug or something, and it'll be like context clues. Remember, get that app or whatever you said.
I've been expecting them to at least talk, like, and say, coupley shit, or couple and in the future shit, like
Right?
anything.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen barely anything, and it's starting to worry me that this has all been in my head.
No, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely again they had a whole hand moment thing, and it's like, oh, you're good enough, and it's like the sweet moments, and then also like Ava like stands up for Mira like nobody's business against her dad, the person she's trying to impress too, and she stands up against him for her. It's definitely there. You're not reading into it.
Okay.
But again, like
Sometimes
I
I
said, with
do.
the casting age-wise, we might not get
That's
as
fine
much
with
as you
me.
hope.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine with me as long. Yeah. 'cause
Also,
I
the
don't
fact I
want.
feel like they're like the fourth couple,
Yeah, exactly. So they're not gonna
fourth or
be
third, depending on how you look at it.
the
But like,
priority. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like, yeah,
We have priority number 1 is Kanin and Charan. Priority 2 is Ramil and Pei Tai. Priority
yes,
3 is Jay and
and Calvin.
and they're priority 4. So we're not gonna get a lot.
Yeah, so, and again, I think maybe the age is why, which is fine. And
Fine
like,
with me that, yeah. I'm not
yeah,
looking for
so
anything if it's age.
yeah,
Yeah.
just know it is a thing. You're not seeing too much
Okay,
into it.
because sometimes I read into shit, you know?
No, it was definitely a thing. It like there's no other way around it. Like
Oh, thank God.
otherwise, like yeah, no.
Phew.
Yeah. Anyway, that was our recap of The Next Prince, episode 13.
Christ.
We will be back next week for the finale.
Yeah, we'll see how that
14.
goes. Oh my God, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so we will see you all then.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.